All right, Pirate. So you were telling me a story. Didn't quite get it finished. If you could just go ahead and start from the beginning and tell me the story. What happened yesterday, Veterans Day?
Yeah.
And your brief background, if you would.
Right. Well, after the Veterans Day parade festivities, I was all hanging out with the VFP Chapter 69, and we were talking about like how Scott Wiener and Ed Lee were in the parade, and they're all like, "Oh, thank you, vets, thank you for your service." Meanwhile, they're passing all these laws to criminalize homeless people and shut down parks and make it illegal to sleep in your vehicle. And we're sitting there commiserating about how, I wonder how many veterans are going to be affected by this. So who are these guys to be all up in the parade? Fuck them. Fuck the chief of police, who I've known to have his police force actually beat up veterans, and they're all sitting there, "Thank you for your service." So I'm running around, I'm on the bullhorn, I'm doing the pirate mic thing. After the parade, I go to get a beer before the Action Council. So I got my Four Loko. I'm sitting on the curb in this alley, right? Writing my notes for the meeting and just sipping on my beer. I got about 2 sips into it. About 20 feet away, there's these 2 junkies like this, shooting up. Old man sticks his head out of the window above him and says, "Hey, you guys, stop that. I'm gonna call the police." And the junkie dudes are all like, "Fuck you, old man. We're gonna fucking do our thing, man." And they're shooting up, right? And I'm just like, I fucking hate the fucking drugs. Anyhow, about 2 minutes later, the cops show up. One of the cops gets out of the car, starts walking down towards the junkies, and sees me in my open container. Proceeds to start hassling me. "Hey, buddy, what you got in the paper bag?" So I just picked up a beer, man. I just got off the parade, getting ready to go into a meeting. "I think you're here for those guys." And those guys were just now finishing up their shots and throwing their bloody napkins on the ground. Cop is like, "My buddy will take care of them. You got ID?" And he, I gave him my DD-214. He's like, "What's this? I need picture ID." I'm like, "Dude, those are my service discharge papers. I told you I just got off the Veterans March, having a beer." He runs my numbers. Other guy goes down there. He's having a goddamn conversation with the junkies and walking them up the street, and they're like, "Yeah, man, see you later." And meanwhile, I'm being held up for 20 minutes while they run my record. And then a cop comes back and he's like, "All right, happy Veterans Day, now pour the beer out." I'm like, "Really, dude?"
Just another one of those situations where somebody was sticking their nose in somebody else's business, and then an innocent bystander gets affected by the circumstances as it be.
Yeah, and it's like Axel was saying, they'll get called for something, but they cast a wide net. The law is, what did they say? A fishing net for the rich and a spider web for the poor. But basically they were called for something else, and they got an extra bonus point by finding me with the beer and just making me pour it out, not even give me a ticket or anything, And it was after the guy's looking at my fucking discharge papers and says, "Happy Veterans Day," and makes me pour my beer out.
Just real quick, you did say you have a DD-214. That means you are a veteran.
Yeah.
And the substance they were called on was an illegal substance.
They were getting called out on these junkies, and I'm sitting here, legal age, legal liquor.
Right.
Not really.
You're not causing a problem.
I'm not like at this guy's doorstep, leaving bloody teeth. I used to be a junkie, but God knows I would have never done it outside in public. I mean, when we were strung out, we had to find the deepest, darkest hole of privacy possible. But in San Francisco, you got junkies shooting up in their necks in people's side view mirrors,
All right, Mike, now...
People getting hassled with open container. It's bullshit. That law has to be stricken from the records.
Pirate Mike, and you say that you used to be a junkie and stuff, and
6 years.
But you're clean now, and you drink alcohol.
2008, yeah.
Good for you, man. I'm proud of you.
There's not a needle in my arm. It's not a relapse.
Right now, drinking alcohol on a day of festivities like Veterans Day, that's
Absolutely.
something that
my ass off.
everybody's doing, right? And the cop could say, "Hey, man, keep that on the down low. Just get the fuck out of here,
Yeah.
I didn't see you.
It's always officer's discretion.
Always officer's discretion. Now, for the one officer to harass you and then the officer to just let the junkies go.
His partner just go kick back, have a conversation with these junkies and walk them off the line. And the cop I got was like making me pour my beer out and running my information.
See a problem with that?
I do. I wish that cops would just leave people alone, basically, who aren't doing anything. The junkies,
so you more or less,
this old man
that was more or less a stop and frisk encounter for you. He ran your ID and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't doing anything wrong. You had
the whole time he was sitting in the car and his buddy was down the street.
Your beverage wasn't exposed.
Yeah.
Was your
no,
beverage?
It wasn't exposed. It was behind my leg in a paper bag. And when he was going down the alley to talk to them, he kind of checked me out and was like, "Whoa, hey buddy, what you got in the paper bag?"
So He saw the veterans flag. He saw your discharge papers, and yet he still decided to harass you.
Yeah, it was lame. And I see it. Some cops were really cool though. Like on Peace Day, I got stopped by the police. Oh no, it was Million Mask. When I'm walking down the street, 2 cops come jogging up to me. And they're like, "Hey buddy, you got your ID?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't have time. What can I help you with, guys?" And like, "Oh, we got a civilian call about a guy with a mask and a bunch of climbing gear walking through the alley." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on my way to like the Million Mask March at City Hall. You guys know about this?" "Oh yeah, so what's that all about?" "Well, it's kind of an anonymous thing. Can I go? I mean, what's up? Let's check out your ID." Once again, I pull out the military paperwork. And they're like, "What is this, buddy? There's no picture on here." I said, "Yeah, that's me, dude." Pulled out my other military records that do have my picture. And they're like, "That's you?" I'm like, "Yeah, like 30 years ago, dude." I'm sorry, I don't rock the ID until I get a car. I need to have a license for some reason. I'm not down with it. I've got to be somewhere in 10 minutes. So yeah, just little harassment tactics to depress you and try to discourage you. But you're damn right.
Oppression
I said,
of
"Look,
the police
guys,
state
we're
by
taking pictures today. This is a day of action around the world. Yeah, I'm wearing climbing gear, but that's because I'm doing it for the forest."
It's oppression of the police state by a militarized police force.
Do you think that if I was really going to start climbing some shit and jacking some surveillance cameras, I'd be walking around all geared up in the daytime? It's obviously for photos. It's for the look. And I'm into that,
But
So.
you are a tree sitter.
Yeah, and I'm jonesing to get in some
So-
trees. So anybody out there, shoot me a line at occupyit@gmail.com or go to my Occupy Veteran San Francisco at Weebly.com and shoot me your deets, and I will come out and help defend your trees, your forests, your home, your rights.
So all you need is a place to tree sit and maybe a little bit of food and some smokes and a little bit of alcohol.
Good ground support, who can keep that bucket going up and down would be nice. But I'm thinking,
Right?
McKay
I'm there
Tract
for
up
you.
north.
But I got to be filming, so that means they need to cover for 2 people.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for the brief details there, and we'll get this up to YouTube right away. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Peace, love, and solidarity from San Francisco and Occupy It.
Peace, love, and calzones. GMO-free food.
Don't forget to check out my website, independentcitizenmedia.weebly.com.